Our last award for the evening is Histotechnologist of the Decade. Joining me in presenting this culminating award is Frida Carson. Frida, it's so good to have you here with us tonight. Thanks for being here to present this very special award.
But now it's time to talk about our awardee of 2020. I cannot think of this person without summing up her activities and her interaction with NSH without one word coming to mind, and that word is service. She joined NSH in the early 1980s, and I don't think there's been a year without her serving in some capacity. She has served as chairman of the Judicial Committee and as chairman of the Membership Committee. She has served as our representative to health organizations. She has served as a regional director for her region. She served as president for 4 years, past president, of course, and she currently is serving as our representative to the Board of Certification of the ASCP Board of Governors. But to me, probably her greatest accomplishment was in getting the cooperation of the College of American Pathologists to agree to partner with us in the Histotech program. This program started out very simply with one offering, and it has now grown to 13 different offerings to suit all of the various specialty laboratories that are in practice. But I think without further ado, it's now time to introduce our 2020 awardees. So let's raise our glasses and toast Lena Spencer.
Well, I'm thrilled, I'm honored, I'm humbled, and so proud to receive this award. There have been the other 4 people who received the Histologist of the Decade for all friends of mine. And they all were such giants in the field of histology. And I don't even know where I come in on all this, because Desna was just education. Lee Luna, the beginning person who started this organization, Dr. Frida Carson, whom I love and adore because she's just such a wealth of information and such a professional, and Charles Sharukian, who was absolutely a chemistry genius and biological stain. So I've known them all. I don't even know where I fit in the same category with them, but I was thought about that over and over. What is it that I bring? And I think I'm a cheerleader for our profession, a cheerleader for the national, always been interested in what's going on. I had so many mentors. And the one person I think who deserves this award more than me is Roberta Mosdale. She was the original executive director, and she alone ran the society for so long. She would do anything you ask. As president for her, and I wasn't her first, she'd just say, "What do you want to do, Lena? Let's do it." And it never once did we not do what we anticipated doing. It was such a wonderful working environment, and she mentored me. She was such a friend. She's still a friend. And I just feel like she has a part in this because she's the one who encouraged me to do everything I did. And I'd also like to acknowledge Ken Urban, because Ken was the person who came up with scholarships and awards and thought we should do this for our members, because so many of us couldn't afford education, or we were not being recognized. We were not a profession that had any recognition at all. And all of a sudden, we became a profession. And how much better can that be than to be your own profession and to be able to share your education, be your education? And I mean, it was just the most wonderful thing in the world. I give a lot of credit to Ken Urban for working behind the scenes in those early days. But and the other persons who I think really deserve this award are every single volunteer. I remember those years when I asked people to volunteer to do things. I didn't know how to do some of them. And not one person ever denied coming on board and working with me. And that says so much for so many people who wanted to make the profession better. And I am so grateful and joyful to receive this. I think that the people, every single member that's been around, they have been so good to me. They pushed me a little further than I would ever go. And yet, you know, they had a voice in everything we did. And that's all people really wanted to hear in the beginning is I would go to the meetings and things and say, just listen to me. Just listen to me. Maybe we can do things, maybe we can't. But if you'll listen and we work on that, then I think that we can come up with some good ideas. And we did. I had the best officers, the best volunteers, the best whatever. I just felt like everybody wanted to work and make this a profession. And I want people to always remember, you're my hero. You know, we see all these signs around right now. Heroes work here. Heroes have always worked in pathology. We were a family. We were diverse. We worked hard, and the patient was always our guiding light, because if we couldn't do it for the patient, who are we going to do it for? We stayed late. We were there. We were the ones, and I don't want any histologist to ever think they're anything less than the top. I think they're probably the most important profession in the hospital, actually, because with them, they get very little oversight from other people. They make split decisions on biopsies. They're just the best. And, you know, we can never let anybody think that this profession is anything than the best that's out there. And like I said, I'm so grateful, so joyful. And I also want to thank my husband of 53 years who has been there, who's pushed me, who said, if you want to do it, do it. We'll do it, whatever it takes to be there. And I appreciate that. I love everybody. Thank you all.